My name is Linda Miner and I'm a registered nutritionist. In this video, we're going to set the goal to take some of the choices that you've been making up to this point that maybe have not been quite as good and switching them for some better choices. Okay, let's start with pasta. On my last video, you saw that I made a lasagna and I used whole wheat noodles. This is a very easy switch. This is probably the easiest one to make here. Switching from white flour to whole wheat flour, or even multigrain if you can find it. That's even better. This is not a difficult choice to make. You're going to be covering the pasta up with sauce anyway and cheese, and so you're not even going to notice the difference. If you think you are going to notice a difference, then start 50-50 with this. 50% of this, 50% of that, and then gradually build up to where it's 100% of this. This is a way to incorporate more nutrients and more fiber into your diet and get rid of white flour, or as we nutritionists like to call it, white death. Okay, second choice. Also should be an easy choice, but not always an easy thing to follow through on. Potato chips. We have trans fats because they're deep fried, and any of the flavored ones usually have monosodium glutamate. Go to my website, myhealthybalance.com, and read my blog post on MSG, all the different names that it goes by, so it's often hidden, and all the symptoms that it can produce, including migraine headaches, diarrhea, upset stomach, nausea, all kinds of bad stuff. Okay, so we don't want to be having MSG and we don't want to be having trans fats. So here's a good alternative. Pretzels, and these ones are actually multigrain pretzels, and they have in them oat flour, wheat flour, cornmeal, millet, and rye. So that's great. You're getting a good variety of grains, which has more nutrients again in it. They're not fried, they're baked, and very filling because they also have fiber in them. So one serving of this actually has 2 grams of fiber in 28 or 25 pretzels. So that's great. Much better choice, low in fat, 0 trans fats. So you've got the munchies, this is what you should be grabbing for. Okay, let's move on to peanut butter. Now this is a jar of peanut butter that is all natural. So it is made with peanuts. The ingredient list is peanuts and salt. So when we open up this jar, here's what happens. Okay, now if you've never seen peanut butter like this, then you haven't been eating real peanut butter, because that's what it's supposed to do. Look how much oil is in here. There's probably about 1/4 cup of oil in this little jar here. That's the peanut oil that has naturally risen to the top. That's supposed to happen. Oh, it feels good on my hands. That's supposed to happen with peanut oil because it's separating from. And so you just stir it back in. That's how it goes. Now with this peanut butter, that is not going to happen. I could shake this for 2 days and it still wouldn't come out because it has hydrogenated fats. That's the solidified oils that have trans fats in them. So in this jar of peanut butter, when we look at the ingredient list, we have roasted peanuts, soybean oil, maltodextrose, there is your first sugar. Sorry, maltodextrin, sugar number 2, hydrogenated vegetable oil, which I just mentioned, that's got the trans fats in it, dextrose, another kind of sugar, and then salt. So we have 2 oils, soybean oil and hydrogenated vegetable oil, and 3 sugars, maltodextrin, sugar, and dextrose, okay? So you're paying a lot of money to get stuff that you don't want to be putting in your body. Buy this kind of peanut butter, add your own sugar to it if you want, you'd be better off. Not that I want you to do that, but if you're going to make a peanut butter and jam sandwich, the jam has got the sugar in it, or the peanut butter and honey, the honey's got the sugar in it. You do not need to buy it in there. Okay, let's move on to chocolate. Milk chocolate, dark chocolate. You can see that this has 70% cocoa. Now, one of the things that drives me crazy about food manufacturers is how they're allowed to do labeling. So this package here is 100 grams. You probably can't see that, but that's what it says. But the serving size is 43 grams. So 43 grams is not quite half of this. I don't know why they're using that random number, but it's 43 grams. So I actually had to do some math calculations because on this one, which is also 100 grams, the serving size is 30 grams. So, you know, when you read this label and it says calories, 230 calories, you probably assume that this entire chocolate bar has 230 calories, but that's not correct. It actually has 534 calories. 534 calories, that's about 1/3 of what you should eat in a day in this chocolate bar, and yet it says 230, so you think, oh, that's not that bad. Okay, when we do the calculations, fat in this, 30 grams of fat. This actually has 40 grams of fat because it's made with pure cocoa butter. Now here is a significant difference. This one has 23 grams of cholesterol in it. This, on the other hand, has 0 grams of cholesterol because cocoa butter does not have cholesterol. Cocoa butter is quite good for you. Sugar, 53 grams of sugar, which is 13.5 teaspoons. This has 30 grams of sugar, which is 7.5 teaspoons. So this has almost twice as much sugar in it. And protein for both of them is 7 grams. Okay, now if you'll recall from one of my previous videos, I talked about how important the carbohydrate to protein ratio is, the number of carbs compared to the number of protein. So in this one, the number of carbs compared to the amount of protein is a 9-to-1 ratio. So 9 times as many carbs as protein. That's going to spike your blood sugar. That's going to send it through the roof. That's going to lead you on the roller coaster. This one has a 4.5-to-1 ratio of carbs to sugar. That's much better. It's still got sugar in it, absolutely, but a much better choice. And chances are when you eat dark chocolate, you're not going to eat nearly as much as you would with milk chocolate because this is so rich and it actually has nutrients in it that make you fill up. So it's not so bad. Okay, here's a bad one. Okay, when you see the word chewy, you know you're in trouble right away because chewy probably means sugary. Okay, so this brand of granola bars has 53 ingredients. 13 of those ingredients are sugar. Sugar is also the third ingredient listed on the ingredient list, and they're listed in order. Ingredients are always listed in order by quantity. So the top ingredient is the highest percentage in the product, and then second highest, third highest. So the third ingredient is sugar in here, okay? Now the carb to protein ratio in this is 20-to-1. Now let's go back to the chocolate bar. 9-to-1, 20-to-1. Okay, now this looks healthy, right? There's oats and it's granola, and doesn't that look just so good for you? You would be better off eating this chocolate bar in terms of what it will do to your blood sugar levels than this. This is going to be at least twice as bad for you. Plus, this has glucose, fructose, and high fructose corn syrup and other disgusting sugars in it. And it also has, as an extra added bonus, sodium hexametaphosphate. Isn't that exciting? Don't you want to put that in your body? I don't think so. The only grains that are in here are oats and wheat. Okay, this is not a good choice for anyone in your family. Cashew, on the other hand, is a company that I love. Listen to the first 9 ingredients on the Cashew package. Hard red winter wheat, oats, rye, barley, triticale, long grain brown rice, buckwheat, sesame seeds, whole almonds. Those are the first ingredients in here. And then the 10th ingredient is brown rice syrup. And that's a fine sugar. And evaporated cane juice and honey are the other sugar sources that are in here. So those are totally natural. Where's my little post-it for this? Okay, I can't find it. So sugar is the 10th ingredient on here, and the carb to protein ratio in here is 2-to-1. 2 carbs for every 1 protein. That is an amazing snack. That's something that's good for you. That's not going to spike your blood sugar levels. You've got tons of nutrients in here. You've got 4 grams of fiber, 7 grams of protein. This is an excellent snack. This is something that you can feel comfortable putting in your lunch and not worried about what it's going to do to your body. This is my first choice, even out of all these foods. So make good choices, set the goal to start reading ingredient lists, and make a better choice. I'll see you next time.